Hi, I'm Lisa Redfern, and this is Gingersnap. This is episode 48 of Gingersnap, and you're hearing some sounds in the background, and there is a reason. I am here today with teacher and vocalist Kathy Slack. We're in West Bath. You feel relaxed? I already feel relaxed. Here she comes.
Hey!
So, Kathy,
Yes.
I know you because of Improvox,
Yes.
and I know you because you teach voice at 317 Maine,
Yes.
and because we have probably a dozen mutual friends or more.
Right.
But tell everybody what else you're up to.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Well, now I'm doing some work with playing quartz bowls, and I'm working with some friends doing retreats, and they're wonderful retreats. There's one coming up next Monday called Soul Spa. I have a little flyer here. Soul Spa.
It'll show up backwards, but
It'll show up backwards. But it's led by Hillary Pidden and Libby Moore and myself. And so the point of the bowls is to facilitate people into getting into more of a meditative place. And it's also something that I work with for generating improvisational sound, vocal sound. So it's really wondrous when that starts to happen. At one of the retreats that I was involved with, I felt like myself and all the other women who were there who were long toning along with me and the bowls, that we were transported into some space beyond this universe. It was some way off universe.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can hear that and see that. You know when you stand next to someone and you do a note and then they do a note very close to you in interval and you get that overtone.
Yes, I love that.
And you kind of feel like, oh, what just happened? It's like that.
Yes, yeah, very much so.
More. Yeah, a lot more.
Very much so. Very
Wow.
much so. Yeah, and speaking of overtone singing, or overtones, I did take a workshop in New York about a month ago, which was to learn how to do overtone singing, and it was fabulous.
Wow.
Yeah, the man who held the workshop is Colombian, and he has completely mastered this art, and I still have a long way to go. I have to practice, and that's the key, is learning how to practice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a vocal coach, call Kathy. And
Yeah.
how do they get in touch with you and know what you're up to and know what's happening with you?
Well, people can contact me directly by email, and it's quitslack@maine.edu, quitslack@maine.edu, and also through 317 Main Street Community Music Center.
Great.
Yeah.
And if you don't know about that, I'll put a little plug in for that. If you have any age, right? I mean, any age can go.
Yeah.
Take all kinds of lessons there. And
I heard some of your interview with Chris Moore.
oh yeah,
And I heard him saying that they're now up to over 500 students.
That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's great.
That's great.
It's really good.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So when did you first come to Maine?
I came to Maine in 1985, and I came here for graduate school. I came directly from New York City. I was in New York pursuing theater, and I was also studying with some wonderful acting and vocal teachers. It was a great experience. I got some really good off-Broadway and off-Broadway work. Once I got into the Actors Union, the competition got stiffer. And so I said to myself, I don't know if I would do this anymore. So my last gig was I did a few extra jobs on The Doctors, which was a soap opera on NBC many years ago. It's no longer on. But it was such a thrill, and I felt like, okay, I've had my taste of doing the scene here, and I decided to apply to graduate school, and I looked at schools all over the United States, and I settled on Orono. They have a wonderful program there in communication studies. I decided to put the study of music aside. I'd sort of done enough of that for a while. I also had a degree from Ithaca College, and I really focused on communication studies, and then ended up teaching for the university part-time, always part-time, teaching things like interpersonal communication and conflict resolution and public speaking.
Wow.
And
all really important things.
Yeah, definitely. And all the while I was in grad school, I was singing with somebody or singing in groups. And I toured around for a while with a woman named Joan Wellhauser, and we did a lot of women's music. We did marches. We did International Women's Day in Canada, and just had a great time together. And so when I was done with my graduate work, I again stayed on teaching for the university system in all their different locations, and I just retired from there. Almost 30 years of teaching.
That's great.
With them a couple of years ago. So now I'm devoting to music and voice and teaching voice and working with the sound and sound healing. That's another thing I really want to work on. So.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So do you know... Oh, here, scoot over.
Oh, yeah, I can scoot over.
Let's get cozy.
There.
So, Kathy, do you know your first word?
I probably would say my first word would have been food.
Eat.
Yeah, right, eat. Bring me food.
Well, we have in common that my first word was cookie, and I know it's in my baby book. And I didn't bring cookies today. Yeah. I brought cucumbers. So we're going to have a cucumber.
Yeah.
We're going to have a conversation on a cucumber with a creative manner.
That's
from my garden.
Great. What a great! Oh, I love that. It's fresh. That's wonderful.
And this is snappy as the one I had yesterday.
No, it doesn't have the crunch like the other one.
It's a little squishy.
Is that because it hasn't been rained on enough?
Yeah. So thanks for the rain, whoever is in charge of that. Thanks for the rain.
This is really good.
Yeah,
I really like it.
Thanks Annie's for the dressing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh-oh. I just go around to
Wait, let me take a sip.
Show people. Okay. Did you have a car in your childhood that you loved, and if you could get back, you would?
I did. My first car was an old Opel station wagon. Opel. Did you ever hear of that brand? And Opals? Like the jewelry?
No, Opel. Yeah. Who made the Opel?
I don't know. Do you know who made Opals? I think it was maybe Scandinavian, perhaps. I'm not really sure. Yeah, but I had this old Opel station wagon that had belonged to my mom. It was kind of a lime green, and actually the color of these cucumbers. And I did not know how to take care of it. And I would take it back and forth to college, to Ithaca, and I grew up in Baltimore. I actually was born in New York, and then when my dad got a job in Baltimore, his hometown, we all moved to Baltimore. Baltimore. Yeah, you know the accent, hon?
Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore, hon. Baltimore. Gonna go down the ocean.
My uncle used to say, "Are you coming over?"
Oh, no way! Is your uncle from Baltimore?
Well, from outside of Baltimore.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's coming over, hon.
Come on over.
Yeah, come on over.
We're like, it's a very
funny accent.
Interesting accent. Yeah.
Got put the oil in my car. So anyway, this car, I literally drove it into the ground. I never put oil in it, and so
young girls out there, don't listen.
Yeah, don't listen to me. I've learned since then to be much more careful. So it broke down on Route 81 outside of Scranton, Pennsylvania. And they actually, I know, Scranton of all places.
I've been to Scranton many times.
Have you? Really?
Usually heading through it,
Yeah, right. Going bypass.
Yeah.
And that's Joe Biden's territory, if I remember. I think Scranton. So it literally the the pistons they broke through the block. So that was it. Wow. The car died. Yeah. Okay. So I literally drove it to the ground.
But if she could get that car back, she would.
Right.
All right. So are you a reader? Or you love books?
I do. I've been a little lazy lately, but I do. I love books.
Is there a book that you've read in the last couple of years that you loved that you find yourself recommending a lot?
Absolutely. Wesley the Owl. Because I'm a real animal freak. And this book is the most beautiful account of a real relationship between a woman who studies owls who ends up adopting a baby owl, and she raises it, and the owl literally imprints with her, and she is the owl's mate. And it's just a beautiful story, just about the closeness of their relationship, and just the huge responsibility that she takes on to take care of it, because they're like a lot of animals. They fall apart if their original imprinted other half leaves them or dies, and they really fall apart. So it's just a beautiful story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And when did that come out? Is that
I'm gonna say maybe like 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Yeah. Wesley the Owl. Just a beautiful story.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great recommendation for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you'd like that.
So songs, albums, have there been some leitmotif?
Oh yeah.
Important ones in your life?
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, it sounds like a phone ringing, doesn't it? That's funny. It's just my ears are so tuned into whatever sound
it's just
is in
like
the
you've been
air.
doing your
You know what I
voice.
think it is? I think there's some residual. I'm hearing something, but anyway, really, I'm not crazy. I'm not.
It's okay if you are.
Thank you. So I used to love Joni Mitchell. I still do. I love her with a passion, and she was an escape for me and my friends, and we were going through some hard family stuff. So sitting down, I have a memory of sitting down around one of those record players with the LP spinning on it, and it was Joni Mitchell's Blue, her album Blue, and I just love the line, I could drink a case of you, darling.
Still be on my feet.
And still be on my feet. So she was a real inspiration. And I saw her many years later when she toured with the big orchestra and did that album. I can't remember. No, this was many years later. This was when she decided to do all of her songs
with an orchestra.
Yeah, and they were completely rearranged to more of jazz, and kind of blues
I know what you
stuff.
mean. Yep.
Oh my God! And even though her voice pitches dropped, her interpretations are they were just magical. It was amazing, especially Both Sides Now. Whew, amazing. So that was one, and then James Taylor. Sweet Baby James, huge influence. That was always playing at the make-out parties that we would go to as teenagers.
Perfect.
And that's all we did was make out, nothing else. And and then recently, Bobby McFerrin, all of his vocal improv albums, love them.
I got to see him live when I was like managing the Ushers years ago many years ago at what is
Merrill?
now in Orno. It used to be called whatever it used to be called.
I saw him there when he was with Voicestra, right?
No, this was 25, 30 years ago.
Oh, okay.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was one of the best. It was 2 hours of just him on a stage by himself, and it was one of the best concerts I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
And
everyone was just glued to him.
Yeah.
1,600 people were just.
Yeah, amazing.
He had you right there.
Yeah, totally. I've seen him since then too, as a soloist as well as with his Voicestra, and same thing. The audience is just like right there.
Great. It's really good. So it's just so elemental. He's tapping into something really, really primal and human and connecting.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that because there's all this artifice has been dropped, and all the junk that can come along with big productions is gone.
Right.
That's what I love about him.
I do too.
So, Kathy Slack, if a movie was made about your life, what genre would it be, and who would star as you, and who would you like to have star as you? Who do you think they'd cast as you, and who would you cast as yourself? Those are two different questions.
I have an impulse, so I'm going to grab something.
Okay.
And just for fun.
She's coming back.
I'm coming back. Here is, these are one of my favorite pair of glasses. Here. Aren't these
So we
great?
see it's going to be are great.
So it would be a comedy, I'm sure. And it would be maybe Dame Edna, you know. Possums! My possums! You know, so maybe
These are
it'd be
very
like
Dame Edna Glass.
Right, exactly. I actually played that character in a Freeport Players production. It was called Telephone, and I played Dame Edith.
Excuse me.
And I had to do the same thing, you know?
Oh
So
gosh.
it would be Dame Edna in a comedy or Bette Midler.
Oh, that's a great.
Yeah.
That's a great pick.
Yeah, I love her. She's so great. She really
She's
is.
great.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you so
Yes,
much, and
yes.
tell everybody again how they can reach out to you.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
after this, they're gonna want to get a hold of you.
Oh, you're so sweet. And I just want to thank Lisa for doing this for all these artists in the state of Maine. This is a wonderful way to help promote us. So kudos to you.
You're welcome.
Kudos to you. People can reach me at quitslack.edu, KWITSLACK at maine.edu. And I'm working on a website.
Oh, good.
And but that's a good way for people to contact me, or if they call 317 Main Street Community Music Center, they can also look for me through there for any voice instruction.
Great.
So, or anything else if you need to get in contact.
If you need,
You need some
care.
bowls.
You need someone to help you with your car.
Right.
Don't call.
Not right.
All right. So I'm Lisa Redfern. If you want to know more about me, you can go to lisaredfern.com. I have a new CD, Chickadee, of all original songs. And like that. So I'll see you in a couple of weeks. All right. Thanks, Kathy.
Bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
This has been Gingersnap.